In today's video, I'm going to show you why I had to stop an inspection 1 hour into it. Hi everybody, it's Steph from DRV Services and welcome to today's video. I'm a certified inspector and a registered technician. And do I have a doozy for you today? This RV had so many red flags and I'm excited to get into it with you. I had a couple that wanted to hire me to do an inspection of a 2015 DRV Mobile Suites fifth wheel. They were looking for something to just have as a winter getaway so they could come from Canada down to the States, stay in Arizona, and then go back home. And they didn't want anything that was super new. They were fine with used. They were looking for a good deal. But I think this deal would have been rotten. I have a goal to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2025, and I would just want to put it out there. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, would you please hit the subscribe button? I'm almost at 5,000. I'm about to get there, and I would love your help by just hitting subscribe. This RV had red flags such as there were slide out issues, there was water damage, there was an accident, there was poor maintenance, and then there was the owner's response to everything. So at first glance of this RV, I was looking around the exterior and I noticed that there was a huge crack in the sidewall above the slide. This was on the passenger side. So that really caught my eye at first, and there you could see some delamination there too, like it was kind of bowed out. So it kind of, I wanted to know if something else happened, so I wanted to take a look at the other side. But first, as I was looking down, I noticed a lot of separation in the trim, and there was just all kinds of signs that something had happened to this RV. So I went around to the other side, the driver's side, and I noticed there that there was a huge scrape along the upper rear part of the fifth wheel. Now, I also could see that there was something that was only really noticeable once I got on the roof, and I'll go into that later, but there was kind of a smash that I couldn't really see clearly. Along the rest of the sidewall on that driver's side, the whole wall was delaminating in the rear. And there was so much separation everywhere. Like you could see trim pieces separated. You could see where there wasn't sealant. Like there really hadn't had any maintenance either. So there was a lot of areas where there were so many areas of separation. I just couldn't wait to get to the slides because I just had a feeling. Anyway, at this point, would you be done? Would you have walked away from this inspection? Tell me in the comments. If you are interested in a checklist so that you can go do your own DIY inspection, go into my website under debsrvservices.net and then go down to the area where it says you can subscribe to my newsletter. It gives you monthly tips and updates on me personally, but it also gives you a free checklist so that you can do your own inspection. I began to look at the slides because I was really curious at what was going on there. And I noticed that all the separation again with the trim along the side of the slide wall. And so I thought where there is an opening, there is usually water. So I looked underneath, and of course I wasn't disappointed there. There was plenty of rot. Now with Arizona, it being dry, there's not active moisture, but you can still tell because it expands, it crunches, and you could hear the crunching. You could feel the play as I felt underneath the slide in several areas. All of the slides had rot. The interesting thing is that when my client asked the owner about the rotten slides, he just responded with, "Yeah, but it won't hurt anything if it's just sitting there." Okay. Along the rest of that driver's side sidewall, the seals and sweeps for the slides were all a mess. They all needed to be replaced. The maintenance was not provided on this. So it was clear that the owner didn't do much with maintenance. And he even admitted that to my client, saying that they traveled a lot with it. So they just took it to their location, they brought it back, and they didn't do a lot of maintenance on it. There was an area near the front because of the accident, I think a lot shifted. And so there's an area near the front where it looked like they used a whole gob of silicone just to try to paste it together. And that was really noticeable. And I was like, okay, well, they did do some kind of maintenance, but I think that they were really just trying to glue it together. Do you think you would stop the inspection yet? I continued to inspect the exterior and found lots of other signs of where there was water intrusion, delamination in cargo areas, poor sealant or no sealant at all, separation, and it just continued like that. And then I decided, let's go on the roof. I'm curious. I really wanted to see what the roof looked like. Plus, I wanted to see what that accident did to that part on the roof that was at the rear. And when I got up there, you could clearly see how there was like on part that driver's side trim piece was smashed in. So they must have hit something and it smashed that area. And then there was separation at the end cap. So you knew water could have gotten in there. And over at the skylight, there was some separation in the sealant. And I figured maybe there was some water that could have gotten in there. So when I looked on the inside, I did notice that there were signs that there was possible water intrusion. If you look on what I usually do is I'll look on the exterior of something and then I'll go on the inside and see if I see anything. And so, yeah, it looked like there would have been some possible water damage on the interior of that as well. So I'm saving the best for last. When I had the owner run out the slides, and usually I do that if I'm on a private property, I will just have the owner run out the slides. That way I can stand there and video and I can watch. So it was the front passenger side slide out, and I videoed the slide out, and here is what I saw.
You might have to push that. I think that cable's off of that side up there. Now that I remember.
This was just the icing on the cake, and it was kind of funny because as we were watching the slide come out, and then that part of that side didn't move at all, and then the owner just kind of pushed it out. My client and I glanced at each other and we were just like, all right. So, I mean, listen, you guys, it was funny to me because there were just so many things, and my clients were great people and they were great sports about all of this. We decided to stop the inspection an hour in. And so I wanted to point out that this is a possibility if you get an inspection. So, I mean, would you buy this RV? No, I don't think you would. I mean, maybe for parts, I don't know. But an hour in, this is what I found already. Can you imagine if I would have had the entire inspection where I spent the day there? This report would have taken me probably 10 hours to complete because there would have been so many things I found. This was like a first glance, 1 hour in. So my client went ahead and they said, let's go ahead and stop the inspection. And I refunded him some of his money. So that is a possibility because, you know, when you see red flags that are this big, I usually give my client an opportunity to stop the inspection. If I'm on site by myself and I'm doing a premier inspection for them, I'll contact them and I'll say, hey, I'm finding a lot of things, or I found this major thing. Do you want me to continue with the inspection? And if they say no, then I stop the inspection and we work on a refund for part of the inspection price. Because it's a lot of money to get these inspections. So I understand that with my client. And I am not going to continue an inspection without my client's approval if I find stuff that's major, especially like what I found with this inspection. So with my clients, we stopped the inspection and we went and had lunch together. And it was such a nice opportunity to get to know my clients, and they learned a lot from the inspection and that they could take with them, that they know what to look for when they're searching for their used RV. And I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure they'll find something that's perfect for them, and that if they need me to come out, if it's in the same area again, and take a look, I am happy to do that. And so it was a great day for all of us, maybe not for the owners of the RV because they didn't make the sale. So sometimes when RVs say it's a great deal, it's not a good enough deal. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I enjoyed making it because this one I just had so many things to show you. It was packed full of red flags and detailed stuff so that you could see what things look like when it's really bad. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment below. Let me know at what point you would have stopped this inspection. I'll see you on the next video.